Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an amazing OTK deck that can summon out all sorts of massive XZ monsters, like number C62 Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting your signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This card is an amazing combo piece for the deck that is so nostalgic and is just a really cool boss monster. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. Afterglow Dragon is really cool in the deck and makes your XZ monsters absolutely massive. This card has a really cool ability. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. And if this card is detached from an XZ monster to activate that monster's effect, you can actually take a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck and either special summon it or attach it to an XZ monster you control as a material. Then, if you activated this effect during the battle phase, you double the attack of all number XZ monsters that you control, which is a really powerful effect to be able to just double the attack of your XZ monsters so you can go in for game. We then play a single copy of Photon Emperor. Photon Emperor is really cool to be able to play in the deck as a one-of, and one of the best targets to send to the graveyard off your copy of Galaxy 100. Because this card has the ability to send to the graveyard except from the field, while another Photon or Galaxy monsters on the field or in the grave, you can just instantly special summon this card in defense position from the graveyard. This card also gives you an additional normal summoner set, which is a really cool effect to be able to use, so we can summon out more cards to your side of the field and go in for more XZ plays. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Brave. Brave is definitely a one-of in the build, just really cool as an extender because it has the ability, if this card's in your hand, you can reveal a Photon monster in your hand to special summon this card, and if you do, its level becomes the level of that Photon monster, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can target a Galaxy monster in your graveyard, and this card's attack and defense become that monster's attack and defense, so this card can get absolutely massive. We then play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is really good as an extender in the deck, but it's also a searcher for the build, which is amazing. This card has the ability to let you send one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and then if this card is special summoned, you get to add a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, which is a once per turn effect to be able to get that search. We then play 3 copies of Photon Delta Wing. Photon Delta Wing is definitely a 3-of in the build, just such a powerful card overall in the deck. Is that this card is normal summoned, you can special summon another copy of this card from your hand or your deck in defense position, which is a really cool effect just to instantly get 2 copies of this card out on your side of the field, so you can start making XZ plays. This is actually one of the best normal summons in the entire deck, because it gets you 2 monsters on your side of the field to make a rank 4 play. We then play 3 copies of Photon Orbital. Orbital is amazing as a 3-of in the deck. This card is actually a searcher for the build because it has the ability during your main phase, you can actually target a Photon or Galaxy monster that you control and equip this monster from your hand or field to that target, and it gains 500 attack points. Also, it cannot be destroyed by battle. But the really cool effect on this card is you can send this equip card to the graveyard to add a Photon or a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, getting you the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Galaxy Wizard. Galaxy Wizard is definitely a 3-of in the build as well, because this card has the ability once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4 to make it a level 8, and you can also tribute this card to add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, instantly getting the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Photon Jumper. Photon Jumper is really cool in the deck. This card is also a searcher with a really cool battle phase effect that when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can activate this effect to skip your next battle phase, also special summon this card from your hand, then in the battle phase, almost being like a copy of Battle Fader. And if this card is sent to the grave, you can add a Photon or Galaxy Smaller Trap from your deck to your hand, which is a really cool effect. We then play 2 copies of Photon Vanisher. Vanisher is a great extender in this build, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need. This card is a really cool ability, kind of a normal summoner set. It must first be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, and if this card is special summoned, you can add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Summoner. Galaxy Summoner is great as a one-of in the build, as if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually target a Photon or Galaxy monster in the graveyard, and then just special summon it into in defense position. And you can also target one of their light monster you control, and it becomes a level 4 until the end of the turn, which is a great effect. I feel like you only need a single copy of this card though, because it does require a little bit of setup to get a monster in the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of as well, just to stop the opponent from touching the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is really good as a one-of in the deck to search out the exact warrior we need from our deck to our hand. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial gets the exact monster we need in the graveyard when we need it, like our copy of Photon Emperor. We then play a single copy of Photon Sanctuary. Photon Sanctuary generates us 2,000 attack point tokens that are level 4 and light, so we can go for our Link monster, which is absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Expedition. Galaxy Expedition is really good as a one-of in the build because this card is kind of sort of like E-Telly, that if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck in face-up defense position, getting you the exact monster you need on the field. We then play a single copy of Galaxy Trance. Trance is great in the deck as a one-of, but you only need a single copy of this card because there's so many ways to be able to search it. This card lets you pay 2,000 life points to target a Photon monster in your grave, special summon both it and a Galaxy monster from the deck with the same level, but in defense position, and if you do, each monster's attack becomes 2,000, and you negate their effects. But this card is great to be able to play in the deck to get the exact monster you need on your side of the field to make an XZ play. We then play a single copy of Numbers Last Hope. Numbers Last Hope is a great one-of in the build because this card is always treated as a Galaxy Eyes card and lets you pay half your life points and then target 2 monsters in your graveyard and special summon both, but their effects, if any, are negated. Then immediately as effect resolves, you XZ summon a number XZ monster using only those 2 monsters, which is a great ability to instantly go in for an XZ play using this card. We then play 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is really good as a 2-of in the build because this card has 2 or 3 really good effects on it. It lets you draw 2 cards, take control of an opponent's monster, or look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it and shuffle it into the deck, which is just such a cool ability. We then play 3 copies of Galaxy 100. Galaxy 100 is really good as a 3-of in the build because this card is a Foolish Burial, in archetype Foolish Burial, with some really cool effects. Then when this card is activated, you get to send a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck to the graveyard, and if a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is special summoned to your field, you can look at your opponent's extract and then apply one of these effects to either banish a card from it or special summon a number monster from it to your side of the field. So if they are playing Galaxy Eyes, you can actually take one of their Galaxy Eyes monsters and special summon it to your side of the field, which is really cool, or any number monster to your side of the field, which is really cool. So that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good as a 3-of in the build just to stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps, making this card a definite 3-of hand trap in the build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of number C62, Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. This card is absolutely crazy and super easy to summon out to your side of the field by just overlaying this card on top of a copy of number 62, making it very easy to summon out to your side of the field. This card also has some really cool effects. At the start of the battle phase, you can actually detach a material from this card, and this card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. And this card card has a copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon material, it gains these effects and it's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and it gains attack equal to the combined levels and ranks of the cards attached to this card, making this card absolutely massive, especially when you detach a copy of Afterglow Dragon to double this card's attack points. We then play a single copy of number 62. Number 62 is really good to be able to play as a 1-of in the build, so we can basically just overlay on top of it into our copy of number C62. We then play a single copy of Full Armor Photon Dragon. This card you can overlay on top of any of your Galaxy Eyes XZ monsters, and it pops a card on the field. We then play a single copy of Cypher X Dragon. Cypher X is just really good to be able to make in the build. It's just a fantastic option overall. We then play a single copy of Cypher Dragon. Cypher Dragon is great because it's basically like Change of Heart. This card lets you once per turn detach material from this card, target a face-up monster opponent controls, and then it also has the ability that monsters that you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of the turn, except this card also take control of that targeted monster until the end phase, but while its effect is applied, its effects are negated, and its attack becomes 3000, and its name becomes Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, basically copying this card. We then play a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is a walking spell negate. We then play a single copy of number 90, Photon Lord. Photon Lord is fantastic in the deck, and overall a card you want to end on if you are going first because it is a negate, and it's overall fantastic in this build. We then play a single copy of Cyber Dragon Infinity and a single copy of Cyber Dragon Nova. These cards are just really good in the deck overall, and it's very easy to make these cards in the deck because all you have to do is put 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier on your side of the field, make a copy of Nova, and then make your copy of Infinity to give you a walking negate on the field. We then play 2 copies of Galaxy Photon Dragon. This card is a great card to make with your copy of Delta Wing because this card has the ability of other light monsters you control gain 500 attack points. You can also detach your material from this card to either add a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And if a light monster is special summoned to your field, you can actually target one of those monsters and its level becomes 4 or 8 until the end of the turn, letting you level manipulate for the exact level that you need. Then play a single copy of Starliege Photon Blast Dragon. Starliege is just really good overall in the deck because this card is the ability, if this card is XZ summoned, you can special summon a Photon monster from your hand, just giving you an additional monster on your side of the field. Also, while this XZ summon monster is on the field, your opponent cannot target monsters you control with 2000 or more attacks with effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either. And once per opponent's turn, quick effect, you can detach a material on this card and target one of your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that's banished from the grave and just instantly special summon it back to your side of the field, which is a great effect to instantly get it back onto your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Zeus. We play so many different XZ monsters, so we might as well play Zeus to be able to board wipe. And then finally play 2 copies of Soul Flare Dragon. Soul Flare Dragon is actually a really cool card to be able to play in the deck. And as you if this card is link summoned, you can actually target a Photon or Galaxy monster in the grave and add it back to the hand, helping you recycle your resources. And during your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can discard a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and then target a special monster opponent controls and destroy it, being a disruption. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try. It's super fun to be able to OTK your opponent with, and you can summon out multiple XZ monsters in a single turn. It's really fun to be able to play, and I absolutely love this deck. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.